Adam Silver, I think at times, is his own worst enemy. Because he just blew what was a golden opportunity to send a message to the rest of the league about tanking. He had a perfect chance with the Mavericks last week openly, blatantly tanking to keep their top 10 pick. He had an opportunity to slam the hammer down, really make his first concrete moves going forward here to prevent tanking in the future and lay down the hammer and create a new precedent. We know tanking is a major problem in the NBA. This was what should have been a layup for Adam Silver to make legitimate change to prevent it from happening moving forward. And instead of taking the slam dunk, instead of taking the ball that was put on the tee and cranking it out of the park for a home run and levying severe penalties on the Mavericks and prevent or disinterest, or I should say really discourage, any team moving forward of thinking about tanking. Adam Silver, you know what he did? You hear that? Slap on the wrist. Barely makes a ripple in the pond. He had decided his big, bad punishment for the Mavericks embarrassing him in the league was to levy a $750,000 fine. That's pathetic. That's absolutely pathetic. In their statement, the NBA made it clear they're taking this seriously. They said the Mavericks, and I'm quoting right now the NBA, the league said this, quote, undermined the integrity of our sport, end quote. That's a pretty harsh claim. Or when you are messing with the integrity of the game, especially now with how prominent gambling is, that's a major claim to make about a team in your league if they are hurting the integrity of the game. Because if you have right now, as a fan, if we as a fan have questions about the outcome of games, that ruins everything for the sport. Now you're just WWE. Now you're wrestling. Live sports still are so popular because of their unpredictability, and that's why so much of us gamble on it, and that's why we still watch all the time. You take that unpredictability away, a lot of the fandom goes away as well. So the NBA at least spoke harshly, accusing the Mavericks of undermining the integrity of their sport. So when you use words to talk about a strong claim, you then take action on levying a small fine? $750,000 to Mark Cuban is nothing. Nothing. Do you think if this situation arises again in 5, 10, 15 years from now, he's going to remember this fine and say, last thing we're going to do is tank again. We're in a situation where losing is going to benefit us. Oh, I get the chills because remember the last time we were in this situation and we did it, we got fined $750,000? That's not making the Mavericks regret their decision. That's not making the Mavericks think twice or make another team think twice about tanking going forward. That is literally a slap on the wrist where it stings for a half second, then you move on and say, okay, don't really learn my lesson. It's an empty threat. Adam Silver fumbled what was a golden opportunity to actually fix tanking in the NBA and actually de-incentivize teams for losing their top priority. But do not worry, Adam Silver, help is on the way in forms, or I should say in the form of yours truly. I am here to save the NBA. I am here to save sports overall from what has been a cancer in the league. That is tanking. Because you want a quick, easy, real solution to stop tanking? I got one for you. Here it is. For advice, make the entire draft a lottery. The entire first round, if the NBA, the entire 2 rounds, the NFL, all 7 rounds, make it a lottery where each team has the same odds to get the number 1 pick no matter your record. Doesn't matter if you're like the Rockets with one of the worst records in the league. Doesn't matter if you are the Bucks who finished with the most wins in the NBA. Every team, regardless of your record, has the same odds of getting the number 1 pick. You know how that solves tanking? Because now you just took away any incentive there is to lose. If your odds, now I don't know the math, so let's just say each team has a 10% chance. Make round numbers very simple. Let's say going into any given season, you have a 10% chance of getting the first overall pick, whether you win 5 games or 55 games. Then why would you intentionally decide to lose games then? If you're Mark Cuban, you had the same odds again to get the number 1 overall pick, and your odds of keeping your top 10 pick were the same, you would then not opt to lose the final 2 games on purpose and miss the play-in tournament. Because making the play-in tournament and making the playoffs and making a deep run in the playoffs would not impact your opportunity to get a top pick or not. When you remove the incentive to lose, now all of a sudden teams have no reason to lose. Tell me then. What is the incentive to tank? Why would you do it? If the Mavericks if my plan was implemented in the NBA this year, where every single team is the same odds, draft-wise, ping pong balls are all the same, why would the Mavericks miss the playoffs and choose to miss the playoffs? Because their odds of getting a top 10 pick are the same whether they finish first or last. So at that point, go for it. Make the play-in. See what the hell happens. I have no faith they're going on a deep run. I have no faith that they'll even make it out of the play-in tournament. But nonetheless, you're at least trying. You're competing. You're making winning your top priority, which we know in the NBA has been a problem for a lot of these teams. Making winning your top priority. My system, in any sport, now puts winning at the forefront. Now puts winning back at number 1, which is where it should be. That's how you solve tanking. Not by levying as a fine that Mark Cuban is going to forget about tomorrow. That doesn't solve tanking. That doesn't de-incentivize teams from losing. You really want to take the incentive away from losing? Take the reward away. Don't allow the team with the worst record to get the number 1 overall pick. In the NFL, not that this has really been a problem, tanking, but you want to prevent it from being a problem? Allow the Chiefs and allow the Bears the same odds to get the number 1 pick. Then there again is no reason why any team will try to lose. No reason why any team going into a season will say, screw it. Our goal this year, get the number 1 pick. We'll reset and hopefully that works. Now you force teams to be competitive because the alternative doesn't pay. That's how you solve tanking in sports. That is my free advice to you, Adam Silver, and any other commissioner that's listening. Make the entire draft a lottery and you automatically take away any sort of reward for losing. And when there's no reward for losing, now teams will try to win, and now you take away tanking in sports. You're welcome, fans everywhere.